Hey, it's Mike from Vinylvana. Today we're going to be talking about vinyl packaging. What's good packaging, bad packaging, and whether or not it has a sway over you buying the vinyl or not. A big thing for me when looking at either a reissue or an original or a new album that's coming out is I always try to not necessarily find the coolest variant or a variant color or anything like that. It's more about whether it's a gatefold or not. Vinyl prices have gone through the roof, so I think if you're expected to shell out 25, 30, 35, sometimes £40 for a new album, the packaging better be good. I've got some examples here of what I think is sets the standard for great packaging. I've also got an example of some basic, not necessarily bad packaging, but some basic packaging for an album that is incredible, but maybe you would have expected better. But we'll talk about it when I get to it. So the first one is My Bloody Valentine, Loveless. So this is the reissue 2021, I think. This is the deluxe edition. It's very shiny, as you can see, because of the lights reflecting off it. But it's this heavyweight cardboard gatefold, and you can just tell, even just from like touching the cardboard, that a lot of love and care has gone into making this. And there's some gatefolds that you get, and I've got an example of one, which it's quite flimsy, it's not very nice. But this is heavyweight cardboard. This is an incredible package, and for me, in my own personal collection, I think this sets the standard for what great packaging is. It also comes with a printed inner sleeve. Now, sometimes you get we all hate those inner sleeves that are just paper because they're really bad for the record. But these, not only are they printed, but they're also polylined as well, which is great for the record, anti-static, and keeps the record in good shape. So that is an example of what I consider probably the best packaging I have in my collection, and that's what I'm gonna in future gauge all of the packaging from. The next one I have is this Japanese pressing of In the Court of the Crimson King. You may have seen me talk about this a lot before. But what I love about this, again, this is heavyweight cardboard, but what I love about this is, if it gets focus, is there's a beautiful texture to this cardboard, this matte kind of finish, with this lovely texture that I'm not sure you can see. Let's see if I can get it right. It's just a wonderful texture, and this apparently is just evident of the Japanese pressings of the era. I do have the second album by King Crimson, another Japanese pressing, which is again similar packaging, this beautiful cardboard matte finish that again is, if you're paying top dollar for an album, I want the packaging to be perfect as well. So there's those two. Those two set the bar. Maybe the My Bloody Valentine, maybe a little bit more than that, but that one certainly is great as well. Now, I've just picked up this 10th anniversary of Kurt Weill's Waking on a Pretty Days album. This is a great album. Lovely yellow vinyl. The artwork is fantastic. It is a gatefold, but the cardboard is just, although it's not bad, by any means it's not bad, but when you compare it to the previous two, it just feels a little bit cheaper, and I'm sure it is cheaper in terms of production, but overall still a great package, but it's just not quite as on the same level as the My Bloody Valentine package. I picked this album up when it came out in February of this year. Now, the record shop had two versions of this. I think they were both transparent yellow, but one of them was a gatefold and one of them was just a single sleeve. There was only a £1 difference in price. So for me, it's a no-brainer. Being able to open up, this is the whole thing about buying vinyl, is you getting home and opening up and experiencing not just the music, but also the packaging itself. I mean, this is a great package. I mean, for only an extra £1 versus just getting a single sleeve, again, printed inners. Again, there's even with this, the more extras you get in as well, the more it's worth spending the £26.99 it is on it, you know, because you feel like you're getting your money's worth with this. Again, the album's okay, but the price is justified when you get a package like that. Now I've got an example of I wouldn't say bad packaging, but I would say this is like the most basic packaging you can get. Now there's a variable with this, obviously, because this is a UK first issue. This is a stunning album. The record sounds incredible. But this came out in 1991, and vinyl just wasn't it back in those days. It was more about CDs. It was more about CDs. It was more about probably cassette tapes as well. And the production just didn't go into this, unfortunately, because it is very, very flimsy, very basic. The print on it isn't great. I imagine when this came out, it was a secondary thought versus the CD package. So, but again, would this sway you from buying this album? Probably not, because it is an incredible album. But if you're faced with the decision of spending, say, £25 on a non-gatefold album, or an extra £1, an extra £2, an extra £5 for a gatefold with a booklet with inserts, I think you'd do it. I really do think you would do it. I certainly would. And that was the case with this Idols record. For an extra £1, I got a lot more for my money. So I think moving on with the new vinyl that I get, instead of talking about, although the music is the most important thing, obviously, lots and lots of people do that better than I can. They have better systems to test it on. But what I want to do is evaluate the packaging. So moving forward, if we say that My Bloody Valentine's Deluxe edition of Loveless, the reissue 2021, I think, this sets the standard. Let's call this a 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10 for My Bloody Valentine's Loveless Deluxe edition. That's the bar. Then King Crimson, In the Court of the Crimson King, the 1976 Japanese reissue, is a close second. I'm going to give this, mainly because there's a little insert, that's it, but the actual cardboard and everything, I'm putting this a close second behind MBV, and this is going to be an 8.5. So that's an 8.5. And then if we move on to Kurt Weill, a beautiful album, great sounding, but the packaging just kind of lets it down a little bit. Not the artwork, not the the mural that was done for Kurt on this is stunning. The photography is fantastic, but the quality of the packaging I'll give this a 7.5. So this is 7.5, King Crimson's 8.5, and then MBV setting the standard at 9. I think moving on, that's kind of going to be the barometer, and I think they're pretty good benchmarks. So yeah, what packaging have you got on a vinyl that you absolutely love? Is there something that swayed you to buy the album, not even listening to the music, but you saw a package or the front cover? Is there anything that you recommend? Please do comment below. For everybody not subscribing yet, please do subscribe. I am over on TikTok as well. All the links are below this comment. I also have an online vinyl shop as well, which is curated from my own personal collection and is all special edition and collectibles. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again.